Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on January 15th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. Right now we're taking a live look out at Phoenix from Garrison's home. And with that, we want to turn over to Storm Alert Weather 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at our Thursday. And Sarah, obviously a foggy look right there, but how cold are we getting this morning?
It's very cold, very similar to the past few mornings, and we are dealing with that dense fog we just saw out at Phoenix. Those cars driving by was a little bit difficult to see, but I want to touch on those temperatures first this morning. We're sitting at 21 for Klamath Falls. Over into Lakeview, we're at 24. Christmas Valley, 11 degrees this morning. 29 to Medford. Into Northern California, sitting at 21 for Montague. Cave Junction at 29. And along the coast, the place to be a little bit warmer this morning is definitely Brookings, sitting at 57. Now, east side, we're seeing clear skies into Klamath Falls. Temperatures are rather cold. That's going to be kind of the concern this morning. But again, west side, much different story. We're seeing areas of dense freezing fog into Medford, Grants Pass, the Illinois Valley, down into Montague, also about quarter-mile of visibility. A bit patchier into Siskiyou County. We're seeing improvements come a little bit earlier than what we are seeing into southern Oregon. But we have another freezing fog advisory in place until noon today. We'll start to see some improvements into your afternoon, but this morning, again, I want to let you know, drive slow. We're kind of getting used to this weather pattern, but that doesn't mean it is going to be a little bit less dangerous out on those roads with those icy conditions. So out to the bus stop this morning, it is going to be chilly for those kiddos. Make sure they're also dressed in some brighter colors along the roads for that bus stop. But by the time we're heading home, I do expect conditions to be a little bit sunnier into the Rogue Valley. But again, there are going to be some areas, especially in the Illinois Valley, Grants Pass, that could hold on to those clouds a little bit longer. But we have the possibility for maybe a few more breaks into those clouds and those stubborn spots that we've seen the past few days, with those winds picking up a little bit today, especially for the coast and into the mountains. But those highs are going to remain rather mild, where you're waking up with clear skies despite that rather cold start. We have a high of 54 for Wairika, 52 for Klamath Falls, and notice along the coast, Brookings, a high of 68 today, where it will be a little bit more mild thanks to that Chetco effect. Your west side valleys are still expected to be rather chilly, but I'll let you know what we can expect in the days ahead when it does come to this fog and dry weather coming up in just a bit. Carlos?
Thank you, Sarah. And for decades, ranchers in southern Oregon have hauled livestock hundreds of miles to get product federally inspected, but that's changed with the opening of a new slaughter facility. Let's bring in NewsWatch 12's Danny Stepanovich, who toured the facility. And Danny, what'd you learn?
The biggest thing, federally inspected slaughter facilities are in short supply nationwide. In the 90s, there were over 1,300 facilities. Now we're down to about 800. That's why this Central Point slaughterhouse is already drawing ranchers from across the state and even California, where the existing 46 facilities serve over 10,000 ranchers, stretching wait lists years long.
It's been over 20 years since we've had the capability to have animals that are raised here in Southern Oregon slaughtered at the facility, cut, wrapped, packaged, and processed under the inspection of USDA guidelines.
USDA inspection allows ranchers to sell their meat anywhere in the country.
And that's been a long void in Southern Oregon.
Now, that void is being filled with a one-of-a-kind mobile processing facility.
It's probably about 100 miles for people to take their animals to get harvested under federal inspection.
It was an 8-hour trip to haul the cattle, 4 hours one way.
John says this building restores an entire missing system.
When that happened and those facilities closed, we lost the ability to train butchers, process product for cold storage, transport refrigerated product. All of that went away.
Dave says the benefits extend to animals.
You know, it's so much better for the animals too. We're not hauling them in the trailer. That affects quality.
And even the future of farming.
The more that we can regionalize our food systems and we can keep the product that we're raising here, you get a better quality. You can see where your product is coming from, you know the rancher, and it builds for a more robust, resilient system from top to bottom. It also helps keep those dollars local.
John's hoping this model works, which could help other rural communities rebuild the processing capacity they've lost nationwide. In studio, Danny Stepanovich.
Thank you, Danny. Moving into developing news, the city of Ashland held a special study session which revealed the current state of city facilities. Now, the assessment shows several buildings that serve city operations are in poor or even critical condition. Although many have better ratings when it comes to the ratio of repair costs to the building replacement values, many of these buildings require costly repairs. Some necessary updates include life safety concerns, ADA improvements, and electrical upgrades. The city now faces challenges with how to approach these updates and how to fund them. Now, we are still learning more details on how this impacts the city and its residents as this story develops, but we'll provide updates as we learn more. And a proposed mountain bike trail project in Lithia Park is facing renewed pushback, and in a letter sent to the Ashland Parks and Rec Commission, former City Councilor and Parks Commission Chair Steffi Seffinger outlined several concerns about the proposed mountain bike trails, including safety, liability, funding, and public input. Bikes are currently not allowed in Lithia Park, though supporters say the trails would create a safer connection between existing bike routes and downtown Ashland. This is expected to be discussed at an upcoming Trails Advisory Committee meeting on the 28th. And Mount Ashland is forced to pause operations once again as we see warmer temperatures and less snowfall. The ski area says they will not be opening today as the snowpack is down by 71%, but they say they have been thankful for the community support through the time they have been able to open. And on to continuing coverage. NewsWatch 12 was in the courtroom as an Eagle Point woman faced expanded felony charges in what police describe as one of the largest animal neglect cases they've ever investigated. Janet Tepper appeared in court after a grand jury indicted her on 88 felony counts connected to animal abuse and neglect. Investigators say a search warrant served on January 6 uncovered 30 deceased dogs stored in the freezer and 58 live dogs living inside the home under what police described as unsafe and unsanitary conditions. And moving into the school watch, Klamath County teachers just ratified their strongest contract in decades, and now pressure is mounting on Klamath Falls City Schools to follow suit. Teachers represented by the Klamath County Education Association secured raises and new benefits, including comp time for elementary teachers covering extra classes. Union leaders say their win came after long negotiations and staying united, and now the spotlight is on Klamath Falls City Schools, where the lowest paid employees still earn under $16 an hour. Leaders say the district risks losing staff if they don't act. And at the last board meeting, the Klamath County School District discussed the superintendent vacancy listed on the agenda as Glass Shimoniak is retiring after 8 years with his last day set for July 31st. Shimoniak submitted his resignation in late December, emphasizing a smooth transition for the district. The board will officially declare the vacancy and begin planning the search for his replacement. Board Development Specialist Jen Nelson outlined the process for hiring a permanent or interim superintendent, and the board will meet this week to review potential firms and determine the next steps. And the Brookings City Council has now appointed Councilor Phoebe Peretta to serve as the city's mayor following the resignation of former Mayor Isaac Hodges. Hodges announced his resignation in November as his family was moving outside city limits. Peretta was sworn in on Monday after serving as his councilor since December of 2023. With her position left vacant, the City Council appointed Jim Jolata to serve in number 2 councilor position. And NewsWatch 12 attended a study session to discuss the possibility of Medford to being home to a USL expansion team. USL officials presented a presentation to City Council on their plan to bring a professional soccer franchise to Medford, and city staff wants to extend their letter of intent with the USL from 6 months to 1 year. Now, this will allow the league more time to complete early planning work and refine its proposal before returning to City Council. USL officials say they are excited to bring a sports team to the Rogue Valley.
We could feel the energy, we could feel the excitement around sports, and in conversations with the city, we saw there's an interest to elevate Medford across the national stage, and we think that USL is uniquely positioned to do that.
During the meeting, USL officials said they want to upgrade Spiegelberg Stadium to meet league standards. They say the improvements would support a potential professional team and also give local middle and high school students a higher quality place to play. We'll have more on the City Council's response and the next steps in today's shows. And Abby's Legendary Pizza in White City will be closing this coming Tuesday after serving the community for more than 27 years. According to a Facebook post, employees at White City have been offered positions at nearby parlors in Eagle Point, Central Point, and Crater Lake Highway. But good news for delivery customers, Abby's will be expanding delivery zones from neighboring parlors in order to accommodate for White City customers. Abby says they are deeply grateful for every memory, celebration, and connection they have had made within the White City community. And C&K Market has announced that the Ray's Food Place store in Phoenix will be closing in late February. According to a news release, C&K Market President Rocky Campbell says this was not an easy decision. The decision was made after careful consideration and the difficult realities they say many local grocers are facing. All employees will be offered positions at other Ray's Food Place locations, and the company is committed to supporting them throughout the transition. Gift cards and loyalty rewards will continue to be honored at all other Ray's Food Place stores.